Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I have amazing news to tell y'all. So, I am a huge fan of superheroes and also anime, but I like DC and Marvel. The rivalry to me is ridiculous, and I also pay attention to the movies and the shows. If any of you are familiar with the Justice League, there was a movie, Justice League, that came out 4 years ago, of November 17th, 2017, and it did not do well in the box office, and it was the least grossing film of the DC Cinematic Universe. And so, for 4 years, fans have been telling everyone to release the Snyder Cut, which is the former director Zack Snyder's Justice League work. And then last year they announced that, and Warner Brothers announced that it will be released on HBO Max of this year, and now the release date has been announced. It will be released on March the 18th of this year on HBO Max. Now, a lot of fans and people have been wondering, and even myself have been wondering, if it's going to be a full-length movie or a 4-part mini television movie. And so, Zack Snyder has confirmed that it's going to be, you would not believe this, a 4-hour movie. That's like insane. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to be 4 hours, but it's just going to be like 3.5-hour movie, because sure, it's a director's cut, but it's his version and it's what he does. So I'm excited for that, and it's going to be amazing. The story on how about the Justice League movie is like this. So, Zack Snyder, he's a director. He's known for 300, Watchmen, the Guardian Owl, and all, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and the Justice League. But not the theatrical version, because he got credit for it, but that belonged to Joss Whedon. And Joss Whedon, he's a director who did 2 Avengers movies, the first Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. And so, the difference is that Zack's version was going to be darker, gritty superhero, while Joss Whedon's was more of a lighthearted, kid-friendly stuff. And a lot of fans did not like that. When I first saw it in theaters, I liked it. It was fine, but I watched it and there was like 2 opposite movies, like one focusing on the dark side and the other one's working on the light, humorous part. And there were, and like other and a lot of people didn't like, some didn't like example, Batman smiling, cracking jokes. I mean, what? This is an Adam West Batman. I mean, sure, Adam West Batman was great and hilarious, but everybody will remember Batman being the dark, brooding hero. And everything else in the villain was just like something was wrong. And Superman's CGI mouth. Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that. So what happened? The story is like this. When Warner Bros. And DC decided to make a cinematic universe to start off going against their company, rival Marvel, they decided, why don't we make our own cinematic universe? And so it kicked off with Man of Steel, which is Superman. Now, I loved Man of Steel, but some didn't like it because it was dark, gritty. Superman was not happy not being the Boy Scout. And it bothers me because, sure, he's the Blue Boy Scouts, but it's just like, not every hero is all rainbows and sunshines. So, but I like Henry Cavill as Superman. He's the most comic accurate Superman besides Christopher Reeves. And I like Christopher Reeves, but I also like Henry Cavill. And I like the villain in the movie, General Zod, played by Michael Shannon. So, and also the destruction and the way that, there's going to be spoilers about this one, so be aware. Superman kills Zod and everyone is angry about that. And I'm just like, that's like the hypocrisy of fan bases. It's like, watching Avengers Endgame or something like that. Spider-Man kills, but nobody complains about that. But when they watch Superman kill Zod, it's like, oh, he just killed somebody. It's just like, that's the hypocrisy of fan bases. It's just like, they don't kill. It's just like, look, there have been points where because in human life, you've been pushed to your limits where where you just wanted to kill someone. And that's what they all felt. Then in 2016, Batman vs. Superman was released, and it was great, but it didn't do well at the box office, even though it had an $873 million worldwide box office. Not like Batman vs. Superman, but there were some points where, like, there have been plot holes at one point to another, and I like Ben Affleck's Batman. Some people don't like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, and what people may have forgot is that Lex Luthor in the old comics, like Golden Age, like the 50s, Lex Luthor had hair before he went bald. Sure, Lex Luthor, I remember, is bald and he's like the president and just like doesn't care about other than killing Superman. But I was confused that he was going to be Riddler, and that's what everybody else felt. And sure, the fight scene wasn't long, but from what I heard is that the fight was going to be longer than that, but I thought the studio interfered because it was dark and brooding. And that's what, really annoys me. It's just like, look, I like the Marvel films. They're amazing, they're well written, and they're funny, but sometimes the jokes can be pretty stupid and annoying. It's just like the same, like, if Batman ever cracked one joke, it's just like, what? That does not make any sense. And so the studio, Warner Brothers, didn't really trust Snyder to do Justice League, so because of the box office flops between Man of Steel and BVS, and we're not counting Suicide Squad because that one was made by a different director and it was not part of the DC cinematic canon that Zack was going for, because Zack Snyder was going for a 5-film movie arc, which consists of Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and 3 Justice League movies. The one that was going to come out this year was going to be part of his 5-movie arc, and there's going to be a second and third, like a trilogy. And third is considered the end game of this 5-movie arc. So I've been going up through details. So this one that's going to come out, I haven't seen the movie yet. It's going to be released on the 18th of March in 2 months. So I looked up, and it's supposed to be where, like, Batman decides to recruit a team alongside a Wonder Woman to find these metahumans, where they form a team of Justice League to take down a fearsome foe who's threatened to destroy the world, and that would be Steppenwolf. And so they would go out and find these metahumans, which contains of Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg, who are played by Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, and Ray Fisher. They did a good job. I mean, Aquaman, he did great. He had his own movie in Aquaman, which made $1 billion worldwide, which was successful. Ezra Miller's Flash is happening. It's going to be start filming of this April. And Cyborg, the movie, isn't going to happen. I'm very sorry, but I will tell you what's happening with Cyborg and Ray Fisher later on. So they had to stop Steppenwolf from getting these mother boxes. And that was their whole mission, and then brought back Superman, and Superman has no idea who he is, and he starts attacking the League, and it involves with the army trying to shoot him down. And Lois, and in the movie she was sent by Alfred, but in this version she goes there, and also when Wonder Woman is out saving lives in London, in the film, the theatrical version, if you're confused, She saves the civilians in Britain and just throws the briefcase. But in this version, there are the trailers to prove it. She stops one briefcase, but she couldn't stop another bomb and there was no casualties. They shown that in the trailer when the movie was going to be released, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be shown in the director's cut of the film. Another one is where during at the end of the director's cut of Justice League of Zack Snyder is where Aquaman was sitting in a truck and he was out drinking and waiting for, and Mira's going to tell her that, you know, her brother's taken over Atlantis, and it has proof of that on the set photos. If you look up on like Vero of Zack Snyder's Vero, or anybody else does it on Twitter, and then there's this one photo where like Flash gets a new suit from Batman, and there it's going to be like the dynamic between Tony Stark and Spider-Man, but this one's going to be DC, where Batman is going to be Flash's mentor student, like that. And then the other thing, when Superman is going to be wearing the black suit like it showed in the trailer of the Zack Snyder Justice League director's cut, not the theatrical one. If you watch the theatrical one, he wore the blue suit, his normal blue suit. And there's a deleted scene where he would do the first flight, but he would see his spacesuit and the black suit, but he doesn't wear the black suit. He wears his normal suit and he does the first flight. Then he goes up to meet Alfred and tells him, you know, where are they coming, and he needs to know before they get killed by Steppenwolf, who collected all of the 3 mother boxes. And so the League comes out and they destroyed Steppenwolf and the Parademons. So then the main villain, Darkseid, comes in and destroys the Justice League. Now, for those who are thinking, oh, Zack Snyder's just a Thanos ripoff, that's not true. Darkseid actually came first before Thanos or Apocalypse. And I also found out who's going to be doing the voice for Darkseid. His name is Roy Porter, and some of those, and some may not know who he is, and I've never heard of him, but I looked up and he's done some films and television in the past. So you'll have to look him up on Google. And so the League gets defeated, and then there's the Justice League 2, and in this I found out there that Batman gets killed off, and that's what starts with the whole nightmare scene. For those who are wondering, well, what the hell is the nightmare scene, because that scene did not make sense, I'll explain it to you in English. When Darkseid defeated the League and took over Superman, it becomes this apocalyptic world because Batman had a nightmare about the world ending and having seized under Darkseid's control. And so he tries to defeat Superman and try to get the rest of the League to like rally and go up against Darkseid so that they can save human life. And apparently Batman gets killed. And so I had to disagree with Batman being killed on the second of Justice League, because to me I would have wished for him to be the third of the Endgame. But you'll have to ask the director himself, because I wasn't there, you know, making it. And so, yeah, there was just some things that, like, I wish Batman wasn't killed, because that's, you know, what was the whole point of his sacrifice? Especially that he was like the sole survivor of this apocalyptic world of which Darkseid created. And now for the third one. The third one is going to be where the Flash kind of goes back in time and revives the League and plans to destroy Darkseid, and they eventually win the battle and bring the Earth back to peace. And that's how his 5-movie arc would have, Zack Snyder's 5-movie arc would have gone. But 17, when they did an April Fool's joke that Zack Snyder was going to be stepping down, fans were like, "Oh no!" But it was an April Fool's joke. It's not like taken seriously. But that was until May or June, where they announced where Zack stepped down as director because of a family tragedy. And the sad thing is that his daughter named Autumn had somehow committed suicide. So I pray for his family and his friends. But there are other sources that he was fired because Warner Brothers did not trust him of his accomplishments for BVS and Man of Steel, and so they quickly found a director in Joss Whedon. And Joss Whedon, he's the director of the 2 Avengers movies, the Avengers and Age of Ultron. He's also did Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all that. And he ordered to do reshoots and immediately take 50% off what Zack did and add in and just shoehorn stuff with him and Jeff Jones. And there's also recent news that, like, when Ray Fisher called them out saying that they were racist, homophobic, and they yelled at them, and it's just like insane. It's just like, how a guy who directed 2 Avengers movies can have this attitude and even say something like that. That's just uncalled for and unprofessional. And what's worse is that during 4 or 5 weeks ago, Ray Fisher tweeted out saying that he's been written off of the Flash movie, which is ridiculous. All for something that he was doing the right thing. So I'm disappointed in Warner Brothers. To me, it's not DC's fault, but it's Warner Brothers' fault for being idiots and not listening to their actors speaking out for themselves. That is just unnecessary and idiotic. They need and DC really needs to know how to fix their cinematic universe. I'm gonna watch their movies and their shows anytime, but it's just like, when building a cinematic universe, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint where you can just skip through stuff. That's why Marvel has been successful, because they had a plan. DC just went forward, and I think Warner Brothers was really agitative to, okay, we need to catch up because they're making more movies than we are. And so, hopefully the Snyderverse of the 5-movie arc will be released soon. And is it going to be canon? That could be a possibility. It just has to depend on the studio. It's the same. It's like James Gunn said that you don't have to watch David Ayer's Suicide Squad, which I'm pretty sure the Suicide Squad that came out in 2016 is not going to be considered canon. So if it's not considered canon, I'm very sorry and I'm sad for that, but I just wish that the Ayer version of Suicide Squad will be released in the future, because Suicide Squad deserved better than that. And so did Will Smith, Margot Robbie, all those people who worked their tails off to make this happy for fans. I'm just ready for the director's cut of Justice League to come out, and when you saw the pictures, they had some really interesting ones. Like, there's this one photo where it had a reference to the death of Superman, which is considered a classic. It's about, if you haven't seen or read the comic book, there's a comic book of that, and there's even an animated movie. Well, there's 2 versions of that. There's one called Superman Doomsday and the Death of Superman. If you're gonna search for more information, you'll have to go to other YouTube channels and see some more information about the director's cut of Justice League. And like I told you, it will be released on March 18th, 2021 on HBO Max. And it's going to be a 4-hour movie, so be prepared for that. And I pray that it will be better than, the theatrical version. And we all chanted, we released the Snyder Cut, and we all did. Thank you for watching. I want you to comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.